Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm working on a fun project that I think I thought of myself. I can't say that I've seen exactly the same thing other places. There's definitely similar things out there, but this is my take on it. So the main reason that I did this is I recently found this punch at a thrift store. It was like $3 or $4, I forget. But I did see it at Hobby Lobby. So if you don't have it, this is I think it was $12.99. So they probably go on sale. So pretty reasonable price to be able to cut tags out of. So, but if you don't have this or anything, I will show another version where I do use my corner rounder and this little kind of, I call it like a butt punch. It's got a little butt, but any sort of edger thing that you have, or even just your hands to cut it, will work for this process. So, I've got I've created a version that makes it into a pocket. I created a version that makes it into just a little place to journal, or if you really wanted to, I could glue it down and make one of those coin envelopes, but I did not. This is similar. This one I just tied in the center. Same thing. Little flips open. Not going to bother tying it. My fingers are freezing and I can't tie very well. And then this version is with a different size paper, but I made this into a belly band so I can glue it onto a larger sheet of paper, which of course I don't have one handy. We glue that onto a larger sheet of paper, and you can use it for belly band back here, and also use that spot right there. So I'm going to show you both versions. They work the exact same thing. It's just different sizes to start the pocket page, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. Now, these two that I did for examples, I did single-sided, which is fine for the white on the inside. But for this one that's a pocket, I decided to use more of a two-sided item for that. And also for this version, I also wanted to have something that was double-sided. All right, so very technical here for this. I will give measurements later for when I do this one, but for using this, I I took my 6x6. Oh, by the way, these are 6x6 pieces of paper that I'm using. I have, for the original one, I found 6x6. I did glue front to back these together so that they were double-sided, but they're just regular thin scrapbook paper 6x6s that I glued together. I did have to trim a little on some of them because Kitty want gluing. This one is part of a Tim Holtz 12x12 that I cut down to 6x6. So that is single-sided, but you want it a little thicker, so either find a double-sided or glue two scrapbooks together. All right, so all I'm doing with the 6x6 is I am gently folding it onto itself where I want, say I want this to be the top here. I'm folding it this way, and I'm going to center it as best I can in here. And eyeball it. Now if you really need to measure, you can, but I'm gonna just eyeball it and punch that out and unfold it. Okay. So if you have gently done it, it shouldn't leave too much of a mark in your paper. All right, so there is the beginning of it. Now I'm gonna get my scoreboard. All right, so I am going to score where this line goes to here. Get that out of the way. It is approximately 1 3/4, and that is one of the measurements I'll give you when I'm doing the, whoops, went out of the rails. That's what's hard sometimes with this Tim Holtz paper. It's so thick, sometimes go out of the rail. So it would be folded up, and if you want to make the pouch, you're going to do both sides. Now, I did the wrong side here. I wanted this to, yeah, that's fine. If you want a pocket, you're only gonna score the one side that you wanna fold up, like that. And I cut it the wrong way. It should have went that way. Yeah, that was gonna be the top. Oh well, okay, live and learn. Okay, so after you do that, you also want to score this direction so that you can fold your flaps in here. Now this is going to be at approximately 1 1/4 going this way. And flip it around, 1 1/4. Okay, now I'm going to cut off these flaps. And I'm going to cut just on the inside of that so that it is not going to get caught up when this gets folded over. So we're just going to cut up. I say get rid of the score mark is probably the best thing. You don't have to cut a lot off. Just have to cut a little off. Come back with some ink on that. And we're going to cut that off. All right, so we're going to cut off the 4 corners. Oh, my hands are so cold. All right, so we're going to fold that part up, and we're going to fold this part in, and we're going to fold this part in. All right. I'll get my little ink out here just to ink the edges of the Tim Holtz paper because it has a white core. And I want to get rid of that. Okay. All right. So, like I said, if I wanted to make it one of these guys, I would have scored that way and we would fold that in. But I want to make this one of these pockets for this. So I'm going to round the top for it. Not necessary, just the way I like to do it. All right, so for what I did on this is I've got reinforcement circles just for fun, not a necessity, just for funsies. And there we go. And I used brads for these. Now you could use eyelets if you wanted to. They're not functional. It is going to be glued down, but I'm going to use brads. And I think too bad that color. Oops. Yeah, it's kind of darker purple. I was hoping it was kind of a there's 2 different pinks in here, but I think it's just a weird shadow. But that would be kind of cool, I think. Oh, I like it. Okay, so I'm going to fold those over. I think there is ones that are just a little darker. Okay. I don't know, these brads I've had for decades from when I used to do scrapbooks, so I have no idea where I got them from, sorry. Okay, so they have very long arms, so I'm going to just kind of fold them out of the way. Like I said, they're not functional. I could probably fold them both to one side, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm going to glue the flap down here, just so it's glued on the pocket and still leave room up there. So we're just going to glue from basically here down and glue. Okay. Okay, and that is all you need to do this pocket. Fairly simple. I would have to say, but yet cute. And then be able to stick some sort of journal card in there. Now the finished product, I started with, like I said, with the 6x6. The pocket is about, what, 4.5? It's about 4.5 wide by about 4 1/4 tall. So it's a fairly nice size pocket. It's almost like a library size card pocket, but really cute. I like it. Okay, so like I said, same process to do these with the brads on the inside. I did like this one. The brad is still there. If I wanted to cover it with washi tape, I could, or not. This side, it's hard to see with my fuzzy. It actually has an eyelet in there. It's a star eyelet, by the way. I wish I could see it a little better, but it was, I don't know if you can see it. It was a star, and it was gold. I thought that was kind of cool, but unseen. And the brad just to close it. This one, I did not put brads or eyelets in there. I just tied it, took the jute and tied it to the one side and tied this one to the one side, and would be able to fold and see if my fingers can work. Come on, get in there. Tie it in a little bow. Jute's not the easiest thing to tie in a bow, that's for sure, I found out. But there we go. Cute little pocket. All right, so that is that version. Now let me show you how I did the bigger version to make the belly band that you can stick that way or stick in that way. All right, same premise, except for I started with a 6x8 because I needed it bigger, because this folded up does not make quite a belly band. This at least makes a belly band that is, like I said, about 5.5 inches wide. So it leaves plenty of room to be able to stick some sort of journal card or something behind it. Okay, same premise. For this is I'm going to take my punch thing. I'm going to fold it gently and put it in there and find my best centering point. Now you could technically, the reason I fold it is because then I know it is exactly in the right spot. You could put it in there, do your fold, and flip it around. My worry is if you don't measure it off, it could be off a little and then your folds become weird. So this is my answer to not officially measuring. Okay, all right, so back to the scoreboard. And this, okay. So once again, we are going to score this part along the center, and it is usually about 1 3/4. If you center it properly, looks like I did not center it properly, so I'm going to find my best spot that's got a little divot, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it there. And yeah, see, this is closer to 2. It technically doesn't matter. The only reason I centered it is just to have even spots on there, but it does not have to be centered officially. All right, and then we're gonna go and do this, and again, we're just gonna score at about 1 1/4. This is thick paper. Come on. And, oh, that was down 1. Yeah, some thick paper. Okay. All right, let's get the scoreboard out of the way. And once again, we are going to, whoops, pull a cord down here. There we go. We are going to cut the flaps off and to the inside of the score line. Now this doesn't matter as much because it actually is going to get folded and not seen because the belly band gets glued down. All right, so now this is where you want to determine, do you want this showing and have the flaps go this way, or do you want brown showing and have the flaps go this way? I do not want brown showing, I want it to go this way. So I'm going to flat my flaps in. And we are going to fold the other part to the back. And this is kind of like where I said it doesn't matter that these are not the same size because you cannot tell that they were the wrong size folded in. Now I'm going to take these and glue them down in the back because when I stick something in there for the belly band, I don't want the item to get caught in there. So glue that one down. Doesn't have to be too tight, but this one that's on top, I'm going to make sure I glued good so it doesn't get caught on any items that are going in and out of the belly band at any point. Okay, so as you see, this is glued in the back. It actually even had a ripped piece on there that it was just a bit shy of the 6x8, and it didn't matter because it got ripped, flipped to the back. Okay, all right, so there is this. Now, if you wanted to do it as, like I said, a pocket similar to these, you would have just folded it toward the front. But folding it to the back also makes it definitely sturdier, so if you wanted to use lighter weight scrapbook paper, it would be fine because you are doubling this at some point anyway. All right, so let's put some eyelets in. Again, not necessary. I'm gonna put some, let's see. I think I actually maybe want something sort of reddish colored. So let's grab a blank set of eyelets or reinforcement labels, and let's grab some ink, put this aside for a second, and let's veer off course here. Not planned, but I've been promising to do this in a video anyway. All right, I think aged mahogany would be nice because there's kind of reddish flowers here. All right, so all I did is I had these reinforcement holes, and I took an ink pad, and all I did was this. And as you can see, it does not give a solid look, it gives a textured look. Now if I wanted to, I probably could get my ink pad out and do that and make it solid, but I thought it would be kind of fun to have more textured colored, and I keep turning it a little bit because you can see that there's lines on there because the outside usually of these ink pads are just a tad higher, especially if you take, you know, you're pushing on the center with a dauber. But yeah, so that gives a different look. You can do it as long as you want, as less as you want, and there you go. Like I said, couldn't be easier. All right, so we're gonna take these and use them it just adds a little bit of fun to it. All right, we'll put that away. Now I got a new color. Okay, and you got a bonus idea. All right, now yeah, so once it's glued, all we need to do is put some eyelets in there. And let's see if I have, I do have these kind of burgundy ones, yay. Okay, there's a burgundy-ish, there's a burgundy-ish, okay. All right, so let's get this attached. And, oh, I had switched, oh, don't fall. I had switched it to a littler one when I was putting that star in. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, beautiful. And do this side. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Now, we just need to find some sort of ribbon or string to tie through there. Let's see, I've got some backwards. All right, I think it'd be kind of fun to put let's see. Oh, I got some brown rickrack. That could be fun. Yeah, let's use the brown rickrack. Okay. Alrighty. Now we are just using this as a permanent tie to keep it. Here I have it permanently tied, where you can use that for another space to hold journal cards. All right. Come on out. All right. All right, so hopefully this is enough to tie it. Okay. So, with my cold hands, we are going to fish it through. Now I did tie the bow to one side. You can tie it wherever you want. I just thought the side was better because then it wouldn't block as much when you put something in there. Okay, let's get this. It's a little more even. Okay, two ends in my hand. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to, since I'm not planning on taking it out, I'm going to try, because this rickrack seems to have a mind of its own, to tie a double knot in here. And I'm going to try to pull it snug so it doesn't have a lot of play. There we go. Okay. And once it is double knotted, I am just going to try to tie a bow with my cold fingers. Okay. Now if you don't want to tie a bow, you, oh goodness me, you could just let it hang down. Put some charms on there. That would be cute. Let it hang down. Put some charms on there. I don't know if I want to tie a bow. It seems like it's going to be quite messy, and it doesn't want to stay tied, which I really thought this one would, because it is kind of a grosgrain kind of feel to it. And with the bumps, you'd think it would. It looks like a spider. All right, I think I like it on. All right, I think I'll leave it down, see if I find some sort of dangle or something to put on there. If not, I'll just cut it a little longer and have it just sit from the page. But yeah, so there is, I could tell I didn't cut that properly. There we go. And we'll just ink up the edge a little bit here. I probably could have inked this fold over a little bit if I wanted to, which I didn't do. But yeah, that's cute. And like I said, you could just take and put journal cards in there and have it. You got big journal. It's not much bigger. But yeah, you can stick a big journal card back there. Where am I? My recent 365. Look how cute that would be. See? Put that back there. Or if you wanted to show more, you could actually, after you glue it down on the page, be able to put one inside of there. Put a couple in there. So cute. All right, let's get that back in its home. All right. So, as I was saying, I'm going to show you how to do it without having this punch with some measurements. So you can just do it on your own. All right, so let's go back to the scoreboard. All right, we're going to take one of these. These are, again, 6 by 6, but the same measurements work for a 6 by 8 for this. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. All right, so for the first score, we are going to score at 1 3/4. And you can either score at 4 1/4 or flip it around and do 1 3/4. Again. And then again, it's 6 by 6. So if you have 6 by 8, you come in 1 3/4, flip it 1 3/4, or do the math to back it out of. All right, so once you do the 1 3/4 twice, you're going to turn it, the quarter, and you're going to just do 1 1/4. 1 1/4, we'll flip it around and do 1 1/4. All right, so like I said, 1 3/4, first 2 sides, flip it around, 1 1/4, second 2 sides. I don't know if it's easier to see here or not. Okay, so if you can imagine the these flaps things are in this smaller part here. That's the flap. So we want to cut off all 4 corners for it. But on the side that would be the flap, I'm going to cut straight through the score on those. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I want to round the corner or something, I'm starting with the straight corner edge instead of a rounded one. You can. All right, so for the, I'm going to slip to my bigger scissors. So for the other side that's going to fold up, I'm going to get rid of the score. We're just cutting it in as a little angle for the bottom and top pockets. Now, if I wanted to make this again, if I wanted to make it up and down, I would have only scored the 1 3/4 on one side, not the other side. But we're going to make this into a, oops, how to do this side. All right, get rid of the score on that. Okay, there we go. Now we can get rid of the scoreboard. And you could write on that, right? Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're going to make this to be I'll make that to be the outside. Okay. All right, so these flaps are going to get folded in. You tell I glued 2 sheets together here, kind of acting up and coming apart because I did not use the right glue for this. I really got to stop using that Elmer's glue. That's the whole problem. So for the side that I would have normally had in my fancy cutter here, that would be that. I am going to use my corner rounder, and I'm going to use the biggest one for it. And like I said, you could definitely use that and just stop there and have your journaling spot pockets, put the holes in there, or if you have another edger rounder, I've got this, like I said, this little butt. There we go. And butts and butts. Yeah, so we got that. Now I also could get rid of this if I wanted to. I do have these fancy edgers that I could have probably used to make that a fancy edge. I could always make this side a fancy edge too. Let's do that. Yeah. And if, like I said, if you wanted to make this just a pocket like that, you could do that. You could always also do it this way and attach it down that way. Yeah, so many options for it. So easy to do. I'm not going to add eyelets to this because it seems to be wanting to fall apart right now. I'm going to have to re-glue it together for that. But yeah, it appears the double-sided ones work much better than the two sheets of paper glued together. Or glue it together using better glue than I. So, okay, well, I think I'm going to call this video done. I've definitely showed you a few different tricks, not only to do fun pockets and fun belly bands, but also how to create your own reinforcement circles in 2 seconds. Almost 2 seconds. I really like the colors on that. I'm gonna have to work on that. Get that prettified. Yeah. All right. Well, that is gonna be it for me today. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be awesome. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so you can see more videos. I got some plans for some upcoming journals coming up, some spring ones. That's why I really want to get that one fixed so I can use that in the spring journal and get those going soon, because it is almost the end of January already and spring will be right around the corner. Okay, well, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave that in the comments below. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.